You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Sabres Zone.
Hi folks, welcome to the Sabres Zone. This is a video on this channel, if you're new, that discusses what you had to say, how you said it, what you said, and all that interesting stuff that I expose in a clip, and here it comes. And a shout out goes to Aurora Jeffrey. I'm guessing it's Jeffrey, your first name. I'll just say Jeffrey. These crazy @ things that they've got posted now. I like this, guys. It's short, sweet, simple, and I believe what he's saying. This core is going to win the Stanley Cup. And Jeffrey, if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be doing this. I just wouldn't be doing this. I think we're all living for that moment that we watched this thing called a miracle happen before our eyes, and we came close in 06. Let's be honest here. We came close in 06. We knew we had a shot. We knew we had a good shot. We knew the way we closed the season. The Sabres were rolling. The Pistols were firing. Everything was set in place. And then we ran into a real tough opponent with Philly in the first round. And we put them to rest pretty easy by the time it was all said and done. Wasn't right away, but they gave us a good fight. But by the last game of that round, they weren't in it with us. Then we played the heavily favored Ottawa Senators. And we put them to rest pretty quick, even though those games were tight, close, hard fought. They had this guy named Zdeno Chara that just seemed to be the only thing we couldn't get through. Everything else, we could break through their defense, and just seemed like it, you know? And then this guy named Schaefer hit Connolly in the head in game number 2. And that was the beginning of the end of our run. It was the beginning of the end. It didn't happen right away. We were too damn good and too damn strong and too damn fast and too damn whatever. We were ahead of everybody that year. Lindy was way ahead of all the coaches that year, if you recall, in 06. We were the founders of the transition game, really. If you look back, it was us that started that thing. He called it then the long trap. But we had this open ice that we managed to maneuver and play really fast hockey. And then teams started copy-pasting what we were doing because it was so successful. And then we started losing guys. They started dropping like flies. Next thing you know, we had literally no blue liners left. We're calling guys up from the minors, and we still make it to Game 7 of the conference final before we bow out on a stupid delay of game penalty in the third period, which is one of the dumbest rules in hockey. I can't stand it. But my point of all that is that we came so damn close in 06. And then 07, we started crazy. But you knew by the end of the year, it's not the same. That there was an element of hunger missing. We knew we were going to lose Briere and Drury. We knew it. We knew it going into that playoffs. We knew. We couldn't get them signed. We knew it was our last run. And by the time it was all said and done, we ran into Ottawa again, and they were more than ready to take us out this time. And what was heartbreaking about that was that team should have won a Stanley Cup in 06. You know, the 07 team I could live with. I didn't think we were a Stanley Cup team that year. I thought we were. I know we won the President's Trophy and all that stuff, but it was the 06 squad, I believe, that really had what it took to do everything, you know. And, you know, then we started losing pieces, and you know how it is, guys. You know, teams change year to year. You know, this is probably, I would say, the era we're in right now with this Sabres team is the longest I've seen players stick around. And this time it's, even with veterans and stuff, you know, we're kind of keeping it as close knit together as possible, this bunch. But I think what Jeffrey's saying here is, you know, can we get it done eventually? I believe we can. I believe that's why we're building this culture, because that's what it's all about. And Kevin Adams, as we know, was part of that Carolina squad, right? So he They know what it took to win a title, and it takes everything. It's the one sport it takes every single ounce of you and your being to win a championship. It's not like other sports where your quarterback can carry you there. In football and baseball, a hot pitcher can carry you deep. Hockey, you need more than just goaltending. You need scoring. You need aggression. You need special teams. You need everybody on the same page, it seems. It's the one sport that you can't get there by hiding a weakness, And Colorado, let's face it, last year, their goaltending was good. That was about it. And they showed that you can win with just good goaltending. The Stanley Cup, you can. You can do it. Colorado's proof of that now. And they did the right thing letting, I believe, Kemper go. If he's going to hold out and he's going to hamstring them for the cap and everything, it's a good franchise. They know they can survive without him. They had him only 1 year anyway. And that franchise was due to break through. I just want to see that way he worded this, even though it was a short wording. Yeah, okay, it's the way I thought. Okay, this core is going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I believe it too. I believe that we are headed to a Stanley Cup. In order to get there, we can't screw up. We can't screw up ahead of time, Jeffrey. We cannot start signing guys for $8 million and $10 million and ruining this rebuild. You can't do that. The thing that you want to throw a monkey wrench into the engine, let's go sign 2 big names for $8 million a piece this offseason. There goes the rebuild. I'll tell you right now, because you're just telling your kids on that team that they're worth more than the guys you just signed. Because those guys weren't even part of our bunch, and you're going to give them the money? Okay, no. And that's where resentment sets in with the youngsters. Right now they're all on the same page, and you don't want to mess around with that. That's how you build a title, I believe. If we go and we start screwing around and we start messing around with the money, we're just telling the kids to be greedy eventually. And then Darlene, who maybe was thinking in his head of taking 8.5 or something, now says 11. Okay, you're going to sign this guy for 10? I'm getting 11. That's what happens. Ask Toronto. Signing Tavares, did that backfire? Ask them. To be honest. And the ones that say no just don't understand how it works with money. Because as soon as they sign this guy to $11 million a year, what do you think it told guys like Matthews and Marner? It just told them that, okay, we have to make that. If he's making it and we're younger and we're better, we're making it. So you can't blame them, But if they would have signed him 7 times 7, different story, No, I say, guys, that we just keep with the plan. That's the main thing. If we're going to win a Stanley Cup, and I believe we're going to, when we're going to win a Stanley Cup, I should be saying, we can't let free agency destroy that. That, for me, Jeffrey, would be the one thing that could destroy it, is that we go in free agency and make boneheaded signings. And yeah, I just did a free agency video because it's kind of on my mind with this clip here, So we have to look at free agency the right way. Fulfilling a need that we don't have time to develop. That's what you get in free agency. Or a missing piece to your Stanley Cup squad. That's what you get in free agency. But when you're a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 11 straight seasons, and you're the bottom rock team in the league when it comes to salary, really. If you take away, the Ben Bishop, then you got to be a little smart and say, okay, you know what? We got all this money put aside. We're going to get the kids signed. Then we'll see what we have left then. That's, I think, the element that would separate us from making it or blowing it, really. So my thoughts on it, Jeffrey, is that as long as we don't go in free agency and screw things up with our money, we're on the track right now, yes, with a good, solid. This rebuild has been very smooth. No, we're not. And guys, think about it. We're not winning like Toronto was right away, right, with their rebuild. But we're the best scoring team in hockey right now. Right now. We got to be smooth with this, because you know what? This can evaporate right in front of our eyes from dumb decision making. If we had somebody like Botterill in charge right now, I'd be nervous as hell. We're going to blow this. I would. I'd right away. I'd say, oh my goodness, he's going to go and he's going to try with giving our first rounders away to make us a playoff team overnight. And it would be the dumbest thing to do right now when the kids are capable of doing that on their own. Now, when it comes to getting a Stanley Cup piece that we need right before we go into a playoff run, that's different. We'll talk then. That's in like 3 years from now, guys. Not right now. So as long as we're smart with our cap, Jeffrey, we'll be good. We will be good, and that dream can become a reality, I believe anyway, as a fan. All right, folks, that's the nightcap. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one till then.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to ensure Dimension access.